hit that.
Oh,
Weekend report. Weekend report.
Weekend report.
Boop, 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 boop. All right. Welcome to Straight Red Card. This is where we talk about the weekend report. We're going to talk about Friday through Monday, actually, because stuff happened today, Brett.
Oh,
But before we get to that, crazy enough. Oh, make sure you like, subscribe. I know I've been forgetting to do that lately. Like, subscribe, share. And honestly, when people tell me to do that when I watch other shows on YouTube, like if they remind me, I do it. If they don't remind me, I totally fucking forget. So there's that.
almost like there's a science to the matter.
Yeah, well, people are the same wherever you go. And unless you say, hey, remember to do this, they're like, oh yeah, shit, I should do that. I watched this show, but I always forget to like the show, even though I like the show. So don't forget to like it. Thank you for all the likes for the last show. That show bounced up quick for a weekend show, which is usually pretty slow for us. Our weekend shows are slower. I think that's up to like almost 1.8 now, which is nice. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say 1 point. It's 1.6 and 1.7.
Okay. I thought the 1.7 was getting closer to 1.8, but might be wrong.
People really liked your art with Berhalter, giving him a nice little hairline and everything.
Oh, the penis head. I debated for like 15 minutes whether I would put that up there next to that roster, because I'm like, will people take this the right way? And then I'm like, yeah, they will. They know I'm kidding around.
Eric, you're toxic. You're one of those toxic.
I'm toxic. Yes, I'm toxic. Speaking of toxic, Ives has gone 100% subscription. Did you see that shit?
Not 100%.
No,
but he's gone subscription, and there's certain content, probably the more hot topics, that are behind a paywall now.
I haven't seen anything free. I clicked on a bunch of stuff today.
Yeah, I clicked on most of the articles on there are free.
No, they're not anymore.
Well, I will prove
the older ones are, but all of the new ones are not.
All right, so free. The John Brooks omission one absolutely is paywalled. Player of the week, which is the very next one, not paywalled.
It was paywalled for me earlier today.
Who will and who won't play against or start against Mexico? That is a paywall.
Dude, even the one player of the week was paywalled for me earlier today. So maybe they changed it. They're like,
World Cup qualifying headlines, not paywall. Maybe it's like every other one.
Okay, I think what's happening is they're flipping back. They're like, okay, we can't paywall everything right now, because earlier today everything was paywalled. Everything I clicked on was paywalled, and now you're telling me not everything is paywalled. So I think
it's more of the hot topics that are going to be paywalled. And I know there's a number of commenters on there that are like, I'm not paying for a subscription.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they read those comments and were like, okay, we can't paywall the whole fucking site. Let's give some free shit still. And listen, it doesn't matter to us. We cover this shit on our own anyhow. I mean, it's just convenient sometimes to just
the one fucking time I used his site as a reference, I got it wrong.
I know you did, but I just think that I understand it. I don't fault him for starting to say, hey, I want money for my website that you all fucking
visit. Guys, it saves him from having to plaster his website like ridiculously with crappy ads.
And he still has those Nikon ads and those other crappy ads.
But that's the typical, like the three spots, one at the top, the one on the side.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad though. It's not bad. I really like SBI. I like the coverage that they've done. I've noticed they're short a writer. Henry used to be there, and I haven't seen him write an article for a while. I might have missed it. Maybe he did, and I'm not clicking on him. But it seems like Ives is like all doing all the writing right now. So maybe he's looking for a writer, Brett. Who knows? Won't be us though. Won't be us. All right. So you want to jump straight to these the weekend abroad and just do it?
Yeah, I mean, we're like 5 minutes into the show. Might as well.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We're always 5 minutes in the show before anything actual gets.
This is a short intro.
I know it's shorter than usual, but all right. So let's look at Friday. And Friday was EPB getting 10 for Troyes, Scally getting 90 in a tie for Gladbach, De La Torre getting 90 in a loss for Heracles. Uli Lannis getting 70 way down there in the second Bundesliga in Austria. Yeah, Australia. That'd be even worse. And that would be worse. Yeah. Sebastian Saucedo went 40 for UNAM. Dante Seeley keeps starting and kicking ass for PSV2.
We'll be seeing him soon.
I mean,
we'll
this
U20
kid,
lineup here coming up soon. So
I'm not going to fail to mention we've had a couple guys go to PSV2 recently who didn't get to play much or got injured a lot. One of them went back to the Red Bulls after sort of a failed stint, but he is not having a failed stint. He is playing out wide, and he is fucking flat out kicking ass. And PSV2
isn't he there only on like a end of the season loan or whatever?
Yeah,
he wasn't officially transferred there.
No, it's some deal where after like certain amount of months, the agent for him and the agent for or the guy that does the hiring for PSV2 get together in a room, and they both have to play like a game of checkers, and whoever wins gets him. So we'll see how that works out. I was going to say something worse, like they got a fucking pistol and they
Rochambeau. Oh,
but no, they're not doing that. Reggie Cannon got a red card in the 58th minute. Good job, buddy.
Don't worry. He's back with us now.
He is. He's back. That's better than what. Well, we'll get into that later. And then was it Terrence Boyd or Tyler Boyd? God damn it! Pretty sure it was Tyler Boyd. Went 65 for Rivaspor. Was it Sivaspor? I can't remember where he's at anymore. Quit hopping around fucking Turkey. Goddamn, pick a team. I think it was also funny that Stephen Payne, you remember Stephen Payne when he was in Portugal? I think he was at one point, he was at Portimonense, and everybody's like, oh, Stephen Payne, he was a winger / forward or / right winger / right back. And then he went to Mafra, and now he's way down in like the almost amateur leagues of fucking Portugal for Vila. So, I mean, yeah, it's too bad for him.
I don't know why Payne is stuck in my mind, but I don't think it was Stephen Payne that's sticking in my mind. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Major Payne, the movie?
Maybe, yeah. Phenomenal movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go and watch it.
Man, it's fun. It is fun movie. It's not like if you're not...
It's 90s. It's 90s. I mean, that's all I got to say.
You're not going to walk away crying or anything like that. But
I don't know if Damon breaks your finger, maybe. Was it Damon? Was it Damon?
Yeah, I think
Damon.
so.
Yeah.
He was great in that movie. He was really good.
Way too many Waynes succeeding in comedy at that time. I so mix them up from time to time, but I think it's Damon.
Damon wins for sure. Yes, he was I think he was the top one. Like the older brother. So. Well, the older brother was the guy who put together the show In Living Color. Like he was a producer. Yeah. So yep, that was a great show.
That was a great show. Yeah,
back in the day, that was a great show. Did not play on Friday was Keith Perry, who's still injured, and Joe Gallardo in wherever he plays in Mexico. Saturday, Sargent got the last 10 in an amazing first win with a new manager. No, was it with a new manager?
No, it was the last match before Farke got the pink slip.
So
like literally, he managed the game. They're all celebrating, champagne spraying. Like, hey Farke, can I see you in your office?
Jesus Christ! He finally wins the game and he gets fired.
It was like they won the game, and like literally later on that day, I got do. I'm like, holy shit! They fired him. What the hell?
That's the most farked up situation I've ever heard of, man. It's like all season they're like, you got to win. He's like, okay, you got to win. Okay, I just won. Now you're fired. Yeah. You're fired.
I had to get that win within 10 games, not 11 games. Shit.
Which was the worst start ever in an English Premier League season. So I get why he was probably let go. I don't know.
Do it. Give him at least Monday. Let him have fun on the weekend. Like Got to fucking win. Look at that.
I know. Celebrate the win and then shank them afterwards.
Yeah.
But, are they really going to be able to get a better manager than Daniel Farka? Now,
No.
Farka did fuck around with the lineup and the roster every goddamn weekend. And it got frustrating because you're like, okay, we're doing 3 in the back. Now we're going 5 in the back. Now we're going 4 in the back. Dude, pick a fucking goddamn part of the problem is here. Your players can't get used to the formation and the tactics you want them to use. So pick something, stick with it, get consistent. And he just wouldn't do it all season. So, too bad for him. Christian Pulisic with 5 ending minutes for Chelsea. Dwayne Holmes.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, this place will play it later on in another conversation, but people were saying that at the end of the game, he was kind of limping off.
Jesus.
And then Tuchel's coming out saying that, he's still fighting an injury. Like he's still recovering, and hopefully that we use him sparingly. So
yeah, I mean that was his message to Berhalter, basically saying, use him in the last 15-20 minutes of a game. Please do not start him. Excuse me.
Which is again, this will probably come up later. I think it's one of the things we're going to talk about in a future segment.
Sure.
Sure.
Dwayne Holmes, Dwayne Sherlock Holmes went 45 for Huddersfield. Alex Mighten committed to the U.S. men's national team. Good job, Gregg. Way to go, baby.
Yeah.
He went 60 for Nottingham Forest. Will he ever get to play for us? I don't know. He's got a lot better chance with us than he does with England. I know that much.
Well, and I know that obviously the U20s are meant to be building the pool for the 2023 U20s. At which point Alex won't be available for it because he's 19 right now. But you might as well go ahead and call him in.
You might as well put him on this U20 team.
Why not? Just give him some minutes with them, and let him. Berhalter can actually sit down and see him play with our system and go from there. Well, actually, he probably won't be able to watch him. He'll be busy. He'll be busy elsewhere, I guess.
He will. But
watch it on TV.
But the thing about it, and you mentioned this before, some teams may not want to release a player for the U20s, but they were willing to release him for the England U20s, which he rejected. So why not put him on this roster? I don't know if he's been put on it yet or not. They've got space, might as well. Throw him in there. It's COVID time, folks. You get to add extra players, so throw him on the team. Tim Ream and Robinson, another win for Fulham, and they both went 90. Man, these guys, I mean, they're up there in the table, man. They're looking like they're about to get promoted again. McKennie. Oh, McKennie went 90 for your boys in the black and white. Yes, versus you. I can't remember.
In this corner.
But I mean, was he not the best player for big portions of the game?
I would like to think so. I'm sure there are plenty of people who will argue otherwise. Quite frankly, he had a great game.
Yeah,
and there's no debating that, in my opinion. I read a rumor while looking up, trying to find Allegri's comments on McKennie this weekend, and I stumbled across a transfer article. And I don't remember what it is. Transfer. They're talking about the upcoming transfer window already.
No,
and they're saying the Spurs are looking to drop 17 million on him, but Juve are looking to rate him at 20 million come this summer. They're not saying they're actively shopping him, but they're looking at options.
There's no way Allegri's going to get rid of McKennie. He's the only one that brings a motor on that defense in the midfield. The only one. He covers so much fucking ground. There's no way you get rid of that guy and have those other turds who are just basically looking to score goals or pass a really nice pass, and that's fine. But somebody needs to play defense, and he does it. And he doesn't just cover the center right; he covers the right wing. I mean, he's everywhere. So,
well, and the big difference here is that he's. This is my take on him. He doesn't play selfishly, and he goes out and he just tries to continue possession. So, like the ball comes to him, he'll maybe take one touch and then pass it off immediately. Whereas you see a lot of the other players try to dribble one or two players, and it kills the movement of the ball and the motion of the team moving into their counterattack. So I personally think, and again, biased. I'm biased here, guys. How can I not be? How can I not be? But I was biased last season too when I stated that he was one of our best midfielders. I say one of ours. As far as following a European team, Juve would be my team I follow. Yeah. So as far as that, he was one of the best midfielders for Juventus last year, in my opinion. One of them. There are others. And then this year, now that he's starting to get back into form, and he's starting to show his worth. And I think Allegri is going to see that. I think he's seeing it already. He's had a couple of quotes about him. One of them was like, he says, McKennie is more balanced and less all over the place at this moment.
Yes.
So at this moment, he's very well physically.
And he knows when to attack. Mm-hmm. Like he knows when to counter quickly. I think I mentioned to you, he had a counter during that game where they had no choice but to just hack his ass down. And that's what they did. And then he got up limping. I'm like, oh no, limping, please. But he got up and he shook it off, rubbed some dirt on it. The other thing about him is his leadership. Do you notice how many times he points to where the guy with the ball needs to pass it next? Mm-hmm. Adams does this too, as well for Leipzig. Same thing. And like he'll say no. And at the end of the game, when they were trying to burn out the last few minutes, remember when I think it was Chiesa picked up the ball to take a corner kick, and McKennie went right up in his face and said, "No mas," which I'm guessing Chiesa can understand means no more. He basically said, "Pass me the ball right here at the corner. I'm going to waste some time." Like, you could clearly say, I don't know if he said no mas or whatever the word for no more in Italian is, but it clearly wasn't no more. It was like no mas. It looked like he was saying no mas, which is Spanish for no more. And yeah, Case just kicked him the ball and McKennie wasted more time. He's a leader on that team. Mm-hmm. Like everybody respects him. I think that's important too, moving forward.
Well, I think a lot of the naysayers were naysayers from the get-go, and they haven't really. I mean, is he the most technically gifted midfielder on that team? No, he's not.
He's not.
But he's technical enough. He maintains possession, and he his view of the field when he gets the ball and he's able to turn. He's able to lace those 40-yard crosses to change a point of attack. He maintains possession well, and he does it all with a lot of heart. So he runs, and he causes a lot of the dispossession that occurs for Juventus too. Just by the constant pressure, he may not necessarily get the touch on it, but he makes the opposition create errant passes. So this stuff I've been saying for over a year now. Some people see it, but some people don't.
Listen, you don't need to apologize for it. I don't think you are, but I am saying this much is that yes, McKennie is a hard work rate guy, but you will notice when he knows he doesn't need to sprint, he will not sprint. He realizes he needs to conserve his energy. He can't just go wild the whole game. Yeah. So he's
basically what Allegri was saying in the quote I mentioned earlier.
He's very focused about when he presses, when he doesn't press, when he lays off, when he does, and he's very tactically aware of what's going on. Well, that's something you can sometimes not measure. When you're watching.
He continued on that quote. He said, in fact, at this moment, he's playing because he's better than the others.
He certainly fucking is. There's no doubt about that. Yep. All right. We better not can't turn this into a McKennie show. So we're going to move on to Chris Richards, who got 30 minutes. They were all right. I don't know. We'll see what happens at Hoffenheim. It seems like Chris has kind of lost the starting spot there. But, he made the national team, but so worth focusing on. Weah got 15. Christian Ramirez did not score for once for Aberdeen, but he did go 90. Ian Harkes went 90 in a loss. Brendan Aronson went 90 in a win. No assists and no goals. So
a rarity. I know.
I'm disappointed. Both Alex
saving them all for Mexico.
Yeah. Both Alex Borto and Devon Tanton went 90 for Fulham's U18s, although we have seen Tanton play for the U23s as well. He's only 17 years old. And so that makes me wonder why he didn't make the U20 squad, but we'll talk about that later. Ryan Malone, who no one cares about, he plays in Bundesliga 2. got the last 10. But he's been playing all season for his team in Bundesliga 2. Hans, which is Hansa Rostock, if you're not familiar with him.
I thought you were going to say Gruber.
Who?
Hans Gruber.
No, not who.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Hansa Rostock, for those of you not aware. He plays in Bundesliga 2. Wooten went 5 in Bundesliga 2. Bjorn KO got the last 10 again. And again, this is not good news. He's playing at Victoria Berlin, which I believe is in Bundesliga 3. And he's just not getting many minutes. And this is a highly touted American player. He also did not get called up, apparently, to the U20 team, which, may or may not be the case that he did get called up and they just said, no, you can't have him. I don't know, because it's not an official FIFA window. So players can get, the call-up can get rejected. So Mark Heider, the old man, continues to play for Osnabrück and went 90 again. And this is in Bundesliga 2. And then we've got, this is Terrence Boyd. So the other Boyd was Tyler Boyd, I mentioned earlier, because I put down T Boyd. That can get confusing. Yeah. Which Boyd? Which T Boyd? This is Terrence Boyd from Hallescher, went 90. He's been scoring like crazy. Hallescher are looking like they might get promoted to Bundesliga. It did at the early season, but now they're sort of stuck in mid-table. Leonard Maloney went 70 for Dortmund 2. Benedict Laverty, who cares? Novakovic, 80. Or 30, excuse me, for and he's just not starting, he's not scoring, he's just playing himself out of any picture of being on the U.S. men's national team going forward.
I think he needs to get a kind of Gio Caccini move, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get one. I mean, he would if he was scoring like he was the first season he was there.
In fairness, though, Gio Caccini wasn't doing it well either in the second division. He got moved up to the first division, doing much better now. Although,
yeah.
Not necessarily scoring goals aplenty, but
and Novakovic has been injured, and that's what kind of set him back into this backup role now. Alex Mendez, 80 for Vizela. Okay, game. Pfok, 30 and a goal for the tie.
Snapped
the waning minutes of the game for young boys.
Snap the slump.
He did snap the slump, but it was sort of like if he didn't score that one, he would be labeled a total idiot. It was a total sitter. So, but hey, listen, you got to get in that spot. Goal. Yeah, that's right. You got to get in that spot to make it a sitter. Chris Durkin, 5 minutes. That's a step down for him at St. Truden. Alan in Sonora. Alan Sonora.
Don't call me up.
3-0 win versus Arsenal in Argentina. Playing for Independiente, went 80, got a goal, got an assist, is totally dominating in Argentina. Time to maybe look at him. And that goal was a golazo, by the way. If you haven't watched it, go look it up. Look up Alan Sonora, Independiente versus Arsenal highlights, and on YouTube, you should be able to find it. But badass goal, badass player. Played 80. Cardoso went 5 minutes for Internacional in Brazil, and then the did not plays are long. Zach Steffen, obvious reasons. Ethan Horvath likes the bench. Gio Reyna is injured. Dest has back herpes. Ethan Waddy usually sits the bench for Chelsea's U23s. So does Odunze for Leicester's U23s. Matt Rotacchio only seems to get bare minutes for the U21s at Liverpool. Jan George, I think he's injured again. Justin Butler and Jalen Hawkins never fucking play for Ingolstadt. So why do I keep having them on this list? They don't play. Emusin Alejandro Alvarado, who is a teammate now at Vizela, did not play. Noah Jones at Ville. Haji Wright. Matt Miazga, And that will do Saturday. Oh boy.
Oh, well, it's Saturday, huh?
I know. This sucks. All right, I'm going to speed this fucker up. Here we go.
1.25 speeds. Go.
Yes, here we go. De La Fuente, 25 for Marseille. CCV, 90 for Celtic. Tessman, only 5 this time around. Unfortunately for him, at Venezia. Busio went the full 90 and then the shocker win against Roma.
A solid performance.
And a goddamn great performance. Yes. Maurice Malone, the youngster, 50 for his team. Kevin Langford, who cares? Male Corbos, who cares? Okay, here we go. Taylor Booth, 90. And Christopher Scott, 90. I think Taylor Booth got an assist and Christopher Scott got a goal for Bayern 2. So not bad for those two. I believe Malik Tillman is actually training with the first team. So he's been moved up. He doesn't ever make the 18 for Bayern, but he's been moved up to the big boys. Gio Caccini, 20 again. Julian Green, 70 in a very sad last-second loss for Greuther Fürth. I mean, these guys came
expected though.
Oh my God. Here they play this great game. They're competing. Did you watch it at all? I watched the full 90. It was so depressing. It's like, oh God, you guys had it. You had it. All you had to do was not let this dickhead score in the last kick of the game. And of course they lost the game. So they have now, I believe, are the worst Bundesliga team to ever start the Bundesliga record-wise. Musa, 25. Good. That's a good sign. He got more time for Valencia. Joel Sonora, 60. In Argentina, Christian Kappas, 10. Telling you, Christian Kappas is not as good as everybody think he is. Emmanuel Sabi, 90. Wingo, 80 in Hungary. Boy, Ben Liederman. Should I even bring up
he's committed, so no, we don't need to talk about it.
He switched to Poland, so we don't need to bring him up anymore.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, Ben. Sebastian Soto, a whole 5 minutes for Porto 2. This is a constant theme now. Sebastian Soto is not even playing for Porto's 2 team. A lot of people thought he would move up to their Porto team by the end of this, in a few months. No, sir. He's a bench warmer at Porto 2.
I know people were saying in Sargent not scoring for Norwich and stuff like that. They're like, maybe he should go back to MLS.
No.
But I'm just saying, I'm using this as an example. Should we possibly be using that line with Soto? Should he go to MLS at this point?
It's looking like it. It really is. He's not, if he goes back to Norwich, he's not going to play there either. So, yeah, I mean, Soto has, as I've been told by many people, an attitude problem. So he's not a hard worker. And if you don't go somewhere and work your ass off when you're an American, I mean, you're not. Yeah,
it boggles my mind. You do all the work just to become a professional, and then you dilly dally around. I don't know. Kind of drives me nuts.
He has been the crown prince for the youth teams for years now, and he's never gotten over it. The fact that he's the crown prince. You're not, Soto. You're not the crown prince. Nobody is. If you want to get there, you're going to bust your balls. You're going to have to prove it at Porto 2. You should be starting at Porto 2, for Christ's sake, not getting 5 minutes every game, if that. DeAndre Yedlin, 90 again for Galatasaray. And just throwing this out there, I lost track of Kenny Safe for a while after he went back to Anderlecht after his multiple loans to Poland. He's at Ashdod in Israel, and he's a starter there, and they suck. Oh, how some have fallen. Sam Vines, 94. Antwerp, Royal Antwerp, if you want to get specific. Not a bad game. They won. Timothy Tillman, off the bench for Greuther Fürth, got 20. Coming in for Julian Green. Joe Effort, 15. And Jacob Montes, 10 for Vaslin Beveren, with Effort getting an assist. So the guys that did not play on Sunday were Brian Reynolds, not surprising. Jeremy Toljan, kind of surprising. Johan Gomez did not play. He sat the road pine the whole time for his team. Malik Tillman, like I said, training with the first team, so he didn't play. Matthew Hoppe did not dress again. Did not dress.
Well, I feel like that's a good point to say why Berhalter at least could have called him up. He's not getting playing time at Mallorca, so you might as well call him up and keep him fresh. Doesn't have to play, although he should play.
You could feature him the last 20 minutes against Jamaica or something and give him a little shine because Klinsmann used to do this. He used to like snatch up a player who wasn't getting time for his Euro club team and then like throw him in for the last 15 to give him some shine. Well, Matthew Hoppe needs some shine because he's not getting it at Mallorca, where they are totally giving him, the anal exam, the prostate exam. And so I don't know what's going to go on there. Good old Tight Shirt Junior has not chimed in and explained anything, although I doubt he has a little say in it. And I'm talking about Stu Holden. I guess somebody said we should call him something else. They said we should call him, let me see. They had a nickname for him that they want us to use. Frosted Tips. They wanted us to call Stu Holden Frosted Tips. Is that because he has frosted tips? Does he? I don't remember. Does he? I thought he's
cool guy tips. Which Backstreet Boy is he?
He might have frosted tips. I don't know. It's kind of almost, it's a little gross. Hey, frosted tips. So Fernando Arce, for Necaxa didn't play. Neither did Mackenzie. Mackenzie didn't play again for Genk, yet he's on the roster. Okay. All right. So no consistency going on here, especially after Brooks did what he did this weekend and what he did the game before that and the game before that. But the article I could not click on that I wrote
same here
was, what was it? It said, it's not that it's not that Brooks isn't, he's out of form. It's that he's not a good fit, I believe is what the title
It's about fit. Yeah. The omission isn't about form, but about fit.
You mean a lumbering, slower center back who's really tall and physical, but has a great left foot. And that's the same reason why I don't think Miazga is ever going to be called up either. And outside of the dog thing, I think it's because he's a lumbering center back and he wants speed, does Berhalter. And I'm talking about the drug. I'm talking about
he might want the drug. Who knows?
He does need it during some of his interviews because they are boring. Some speed would help him out. Let's do Monday, and then I'll do the MLS guys real quick, and we're done. Marlon Fossey, 94 Fulham's U23s, and an assist. Good job, Marlon. Sebastian Salcedo, again in action, 45, but pulled at halftime for UNAM, not for an injury, but for poor play. David Rodriguez, 10 for San Luis. So he's kind of cracking, the 18 and the sometimes getting some extra minutes there in Liga MXs. Sam Shashua, 55 for Tenerife, yanked for poor play. Shaq Moore gets a whole 3 minutes for Tenerife. Woo. 3 minutes.
Hey, that's 3 more minutes than he got like in the first half of the season.
Well, that's weird because he's been starting again and now back to 3 minutes. Kind of weird. MLS notables, Miles Robinson, goal. Beautiful header. Zico Bailey, Cincy, goal. Once thought of as a future MLS player. Not anymore, I don't think.
Future MLS?
Excuse me, U.S. men's national team.
There you go.
Yeah. Leon Flack, thank you for correcting me when I lose my way.
I mean, a future MLS player playing for Cincy. I think that says a lot about Cincy if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've been fairly mediocre. Leon Flack assist. Leon Flack's guy, you got to keep it. Hey, good old Steve Birnbaum got a goal too. He used to play for the U.S. men's national team. Daryl Dike with another goal, but yet not good enough in the verticality department for Berhalter. Not on the team. Jonathan Lewis poked us both in the eye tonight, last night, by getting 2 goals. He's like, hey,
what?
You're 1 figure for Brett, 1 figure for Derek. Boop, right in the eyeballs. You guys suck. Quit criticizing me. Kellen Acosta with an assist. Yeah, Kellen Acosta did a junk punch on us too. Cole Bassett got a goal. Leggett got a goal. Also, man, that's the second junk punch of the week. But Dude, it was a sitter. He just ran and kicked it. It was like 3 feet from the goal. Poor defense by the other team, but good for him for being there. Araujo, who cares? He doesn't want to play for us anymore. He got an own goal, though. Way to go, Julian Araujo. He got an assist and an own goal, so good for him. Wando ends his career with a goal. Got to mention that guy. Ferreira with another assist for FC Dallas. And that Brian White guy, even with a bloodied head and a black and blue eye, got another assist for Vancouver. He should have had a goal. He had a sitter and he missed it. But Brian White's been pretty hot. So I think that's going to do it for this show. I'm sorry it's been this long. We just can't get through
Let's keep it under 20 minutes, Derek.
Yeah, we can't get through these fast enough. So, all right, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, we love you. Keep listening. We'll be back with the next segment tomorrow.